I found one strategy that only a few agents do, and the production is 10 times the amount of other agents. I'm going to share it with you today. Mark McCormack, in his book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School, went back and did a study. And what they did is they asked all of the students that were getting their MBA, so this is the best of the best from Harvard University. These students that were getting their MBA, they asked them a couple simple questions. They asked them this: do you have a written set of goals that are clear, definable, that you are headed in that direction in your career? The second option they gave was, do you just have a general idea? You haven't written them down, but you have a general idea of the direction you want to go with your career. The third one was, do you have no goals? Have you not even thought about it? You're just kind of going through the motions. When they did this, they asked those, and what they found is that only 3% of those MBA students actually had written, clear plan of action for their career. The other 13% was the number that they found that had some general idea of what they wanted to do, and they just had a general direction they were going in their career. The rest, full 84%, did not have any goals. They hadn't even thought about it. And listen, so if you're in that 84% right now, no problem. We're going to give you an action plan to give you this, because see, what happens is when they went back and did this study 20 years later, they came back to those students. The easiest way for them to measure this was by income. So they asked the 84%. They got their average income for the 84%. Then they looked at the 13% that just had a general idea of the direction, kind of an idea in their mind of how they wanted their career to look. Obviously, once they looked at this, the ones that just had a general idea, they had better results. As a matter of fact, their average income on that 13% was 2 times the amount of the other 84% that were just kind of reacting instead of having a plan of action. What was even more interesting is the 3% that had the clear, concise set of goals written that they could review and go back and look at, that 3%, when they took the average income for that 3% versus the full other 97%, their income averaged 10 times the amount of the rest of the group. You see, it's critically important to have a written set of goals. So what I want to do today is I want to give you a simple plan that'll help you kind of outline some goals for yourself. If you've never done this before, or if you've done it in the past, I want to give you kind of the filters that I use, and I like to use the S.M.A.R.T plan. The S.M.A.R.T plan says this. It's basically an acronym. It says that the goals will be: S stands for simple, M stands for measurable, A stands for attainable, R stands for relevant, and then the T stands for, is it time sensitive? So I want to go through each of these and just give you an outline. The first one is this: is it simple? The best goal that was ever written was by John F. Kennedy. When he said it this way, he said, we will send a man to the moon and bring him back home safe by the end of this decade. You see, it was very concise. It had a time frame. It had specific goals. It had things they could track. It gave them the ability, really, and it was very concise and simple. You see, with your goal, I would suggest you make it very simple. How many transactions do you want to do in the year? How much dollar volume do you want to produce? What's the gross commission income? Make it very simple, something that's very easy for you to understand and to then be able to measure. That's the M. Can you measure this? I would even break it down on short-term basis. You know, we've talked about this before. If you're measuring something, we know roughly on average that 50 conversations generates 1 transaction. If you're at a place where you're wanting to do 2 transactions a month, that means you need to have 50 conversations every week. So that's 10 a day if you're working 5 days a week. Very easy to measure on a daily basis if you're moving in the right direction. The A stands for, is it achievable? Listen, we all want to double our business next year. Is that achievable for you? Have you been doing that for years and years? Would 10% make a big difference if you were to grow your business 10%? Whatever it is for you, what's achievable? Make the goal where it pushes you, but that you also have the ability to make sure that you're going in the right direction and that you can achieve that goal. R stands for relevant. Does this really help you? Go back to why you got in this business. Is this goal something that's going to move you closer to who you want to be, not just as an agent, but as a person? Is it relevant not just to your business, but your overall who you are, who you were created to be, who you want to be a year from now? If it is, then we're going to move to the T. We want to do time sensitive. I love the idea of doing yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals. I break them down because listen, if I can have time sensitivity, then I know that if I want to do 10 a day, by the end of the day, if I've only made 8, I'll make myself make those other 2. If I know the end of the week, I've gotten really busy and I've been showing property, I've been working, and I haven't gotten to get to the calls on a daily basis, I know come Saturday I can make up for that and I can get to my 50 for the week. You see, when you make it where it's something that you can just basically track and you got a time sensitivity to it, you'll stay focused on it. It's not just the time sensitivity, it's the psychological. You're at a place where you understand that if I just do these things, it's if then. If I do this, then I will get these results. If you're at a place where you have not set your goals, I would highly encourage you to do this. Statistics show us that your business will grow if you have a clear, defined path in the direction you're going. I hope this is helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.